The follow-up is simple. Ask a question, listen to the answer, then follow up. I'm your host, Noah Kozlov. Enjoy.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the Follow-Up Podcast. I'm Eden, and this is my dad, Noah, and every week we sit on my bed and have a different conversation about something I want to talk about. And this week we're going to talk about fashion camp.
Yeah, so that's where you spent your past 2 weeks of summer.
Mm-hmm.
How was your experience?
It was great. I love sewing. I did this as an after-school class, and the first thing I made was this scarf, and it's long, as you see. So this.
An infinity scarf.
Yeah, an infinity scarf.
I really like that.
Thanks.
You wear that maybe in the fall with a
Yeah.
vest or something like that. Yeah, that's awesome.
It would look good with my leopard vest.
Yeah, so how did you decide on those fabrics?
Well, there were options. It was everyone had to have this.
Mm-hmm.
It was this with the blue, or it was this with like a whitish tan pink.
But
It was like white
these two fabrics.
Yeah.
Just it might be different
Just different colors.
Okay.
This was like
It's a
tan.
silk, yeah.
It was tannish, pinkish, whitish, and I didn't really like it, so I
Mm-hmm.
chose blue, and I thought it actually looked nicer together than the white.
Okay, so you then hand sewed this, or you put it in the
And
sewing
actually,
machine?
I think I actually kind of remember a few steps.
Okay.
So what we did was this was longer, so we folded it in half, and we sewed.
Uh-huh.
But we folded both. We pinned it, and we sewed. And then we sewed. There was one more step I forget.
Okay.
But we sewed right here, as you say.
Uh-huh.
Here. And then we sewed on the other side right here, connecting. I think there was one more step. There was.
That's okay.
Whatever.
What else did you make?
Another thing I made was, this is in free sew, so when you finish early, you get to do free sew, so sew whatever you want. And I made this tote bag.
Oh.
I'm holding the strap strong.
Yeah, I don't think I realized how sturdy this was. I thought the fabric was a little more flimsy, but that's really nice. And so, all right, so I see on the inside is where you sewed.
So
you
this,
pull the fabric down, you sew.
You see how I have a stitch right here?
Mhm.
Well, probably can't see. But this isn't a regular stitch. This is a hem. So when you can wash this bag, so when you wash it, it doesn't fray in the wash.
Oh, so if there's no hem,
Then it's
and
gonna
it can
fray. You see in
Okay.
these little things? These would fray if you didn't have a hem.
Gotcha. All right, so you could put anything you want really in that bag.
Yeah. So you would also
You could take this bag to the park if you
Yeah.
wanted with your water bottle and.
also kind of like what I was talking about with the scarf, how I sewed.
Mm-hmm.
I sewed these in half. Because
Make it
you
look
wouldn't
bigger,
want
yeah.
you wouldn't want humongous straps.
Right.
You want nice straps. And this also you don't want huge. So I folded these in half. And it wasn't too hard because free sew projects aren't too hard.
Mm-hmm.
And then really you sew this in half. Actually, I remember the steps. Hem both
Mm-hmm.
sides. Sew these in half. Flip them inside out. Sew them to the bag, and then sew all three sides.
And how did you? So in free sew, you're told you can sew whatever you want, or here's some options for you guys.
And the thing I made the most.
Wait, hold on. So tell me what. So in free sew, you're given options, or they say sew whatever you want.
There's the options really that most people make are scrunchies.
Mm-hmm.
I made a tote bag once, that was an option. And then the thing I made the most for free sew is pillows.
Mm-hmm.
Pillows, and more pillows.
And what do you stuff them with?
I just stuffed them with scraps.
Scraps of fabric.
Yeah, scraps of fabric.
So now all your
And they
stuffed
are
animals have pillows.
Pillows.
Make sure they're comfortable.
Yes. Pillows.
There are a few other things, and we've taken pictures of you wearing these things, so maybe we'll put those up at the podcast.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to have you put them on here,
No,
do all
I'm
that
not
stuff
going
like a full fashion show, but you
I'm not
made
doing
a beautiful tweed jacket
Thank you.
that you could probably wear in the fall.
Probably can.
Mm-hmm. you made a. Oh, but so all right. So talk about that jacket. What was like the challenging parts of that?
Challenging parts were, I think it was mostly the bottom hem was hard. The neckline was hard.
Mhm.
Like sewing it. And like really that fabric, it's just hard because it's like a big project. It's not like it's gonna be like a free sew project like making a pillow.
Did you bonk
Correct.
yourself in the face? So when things are more challenging that way, do the instructors help out?
Yeah, the instructors help out, and the instructors help out with easy stuff. Like the instructor helped out with this on free sew.
Mm-hmm.
This was like the first project, and the first project's always an easy project. Like they even helped me out with this.
So like the basics though,
Basics.
they make sure you get the basics down and then move forward with it.
Correct.
Okay, so you did the jacket and then that really nice. You said it's a little small for you, but it was like a linen shirt.
Yeah.
But that had to be really difficult to work with too because the fabric's so thin.
Actually, it was easy.
Oh
It
really?
was easier. To work
Easier
with.
than the jacket.
Yes.
Why is that?
It was easier because when you sew with like the linen, the jacket, you can't see if you're sewing on top of something, and with that you can see where you're sewing to make sure it doesn't have to get seam ripped. And a seam rip, it's called a seam ripper, where you get the seam rip the stitch and it gets out the stitch.
What is this? It's like
It's like a tool.
A tool, okay.
Yeah, and it takes a very long time.
Oh.
Depends on what you need to get seam ripped, but still. So yeah.
And I know you also made. Was the romper the first week?
Yes, the romper.
I like that.
I do too.
Yeah.
That
It's
was
really
probably
stretchy.
the hardest project.
What?
The romper. It was big.
Mhm.
It was like a big project, and it was like the hardest part. It's like, let's say it like this. It was a long step. Sewing.
Long process, yeah.
No, it wasn't a long process. It was a
No?
long one step. It was very long. Sewing the whole body together.
Oh,
Very long.
got it. So it's all one piece.
It's all one piece. It's two pieces that you're sewing together, and it's very hard to sew.
And that.
It's not hard,
And
but
also
it's like
yeah, what's its challenge?
it's hard,
Yeah.
and also sewing the whole thing, having patience to do that is very hard.
All right, so hold
It's
on
kind of
to that thought with the patience because you also made that skirt, but was that skirt during fashion class?
Fashion class, not fashion.
That was during.
week.
Okay, so that was during the school year. You made that pink skirt, which I really like, and especially because it has pockets.
Thanks.
Yeah, I like that.
And also, if you didn't notice, the romper had pockets also. Did you notice that?
Oh right, yeah. Good,
And
good thing that
And
pockets.
it actually looks very weird when the pockets are like sticking out, and it looks so funny when the pockets
if you
are
pull the
sticking
pockets out?
Yeah, it looks so funny.
There's for a long time, Mom and I watched a thing not too long ago. I think it was on CBS Sunday Morning about women's clothes didn't have pockets for
Well,
a
it was
really
so
really long time, and even
That's so weird.
and even the jeans
Yeah.
are really real like the pockets are basically useless because you actually can't put anything in them.
Now you can.
And so I think there are more pairs of pants and dresses and skirts that have pockets in them. It's a ridiculous
it's
thing
ridiculous.
that they can when it have pockets. That
It's like-
you have things to put in them.
Pockets.
Yeah.
That's like the weirdest thing. Pockets.
Right, you should have pockets. All right,
It's
so you
a
said
weird
so you
thing.
said patience. So why is patience? Yeah, let's stay with that. Why is patience so important to have?
Patience is important because it's like you're not rushed, so you don't rush through things, and so you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing
Mhm.
because if you're gonna mess up everything if you don't have patience. And it's also important because like calm. If you don't have patience, like you're always gonna be like
Frazzled.
frazzled.
Mhm.
Like, and you're always gonna be mad at yourself or mad because you did everything wrong. But if you're slower and you concentrate and you like have patience, then you'll be doing more things correct.
So that would apply for not just
Sewing.
something in fashion class, but also in athletics.
Athletic.
That make sure that you're listening to the instructions and you're practicing the right way, and also in school.
Really, patience goes with everything.
Mm-hmm. We used to say it to you all the time when you were before you probably even knew what patience meant, but like when you were a baby. And
Probably when
if you were crying and you couldn't communicate, we would say patience, 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 or Nelly would say paciencia, 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 and so you would know. Hopefully that meant okay, like hey, we just need you to wait a moment. You need to, we're not ready to do what it is that you want to do. But in school, it's the patience, and also with your friends, it's you need a certain amount of patience.
Yeah,
you can't just jump all over somebody.
Yeah,
What else do you think? What other attributes do you think would be important for going through a fashion camp?
Fashion camp, I think, just like focus.
Okay.
Focus.
That's a good
Kind of
one.
goes with patience because like focusing on things.
We could just call it patience.
Patience. Okay, that's focus combined with patience.
Yeah.
Patience.
You need patience.
You need patience in fashion camp.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And in lots of things.
All right, so you really enjoyed it.
I did.
Great. I'm glad to hear it. And up next.
Up next is tennis camp. And it is very funny that I said that because that also has patience and focus.
Yeah, because this is brand new. Like you've played tennis with me, you played tennis with Mom, but never from a real instructor who's gonna teach you really how to play.
Yeah.
We can only teach you so much.
Correct.
Yeah, you're gonna have a great time. I'm glad that you're willing just to try some new things. I think that's most important as a little kid. Well, even as an adult, just try
Yes.
new things, meet new people, put yourself in situations that might be new and slightly uncomfortable, but then figuring out how to make it enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I love you.